Alright, so here's my evaporator motor that I took out. I took it out to put it on the counter. There's these 4 screws in the corners here of the plastic assembly. I'm going to take these screws off because I have to get the blade off, and it's down underneath there. So we take these 4 screws off, and they will... Can I put these in here?
Sure.
They will allow me to take off this plastic piece. Of course, my refrigerator inside is starting to look like it's been kind of taken apart and beat up a few times because the insulation is kind of shot, but that's alright. We'll get rid of this fridge and get a new one. Okay, so this was taken off here. Actually, this is a separate wire. There's another wire here that goes into the evaporator motor. I actually took that other wire off. Oh, let me show you that. Just a second. It's this wire here. This is the wire. This plugs into the back of the fridge, and then this one actually hooked into the top of the evaporator motor like this. So I just took a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and I just stuck it in there and just popped this thing off here. So you need to take this little... Actually, you probably don't need to take off that cable yet, but I took mine off. And then this yellow wire here, which goes to some other part of the fridge. Just have to get this out here, and now I can pull this up like this. And now, here's the challenge that I'm facing, is, see, I gotta get this darn fan off here. It has just, all it has is a little spring around it. But I'll tell you what, that sucker is hard to get off. So I'm gonna pinch this thing here, see if that'll work. I'm sorry I don't have any clear advice for getting this spring off, but these are needle nose pliers. I'm just gonna pull this spring off here, see, like this, because I gotta get the fan off. So now with the spring off, hopefully I can just wedge this thing. I don't know why this thing is so difficult here. So I'm gonna take a screwdriver and just kind of wedge this thing. I gotta get the fan off because the motor, the new motor, doesn't have a fan. So it's kind of wide. See, I'm spreading this wide. Can you see that? Is that showing up here?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm spreading this wide so I can get this thing off. And I'm not 100% sure why it doesn't just pop off, but it doesn't. And you don't want to break the fan because I don't have another fan. I didn't order one of them. Just in a nutshell, this should not be this difficult to remove, but it is. Well, what can you do here? I actually, believe it or not, I actually went to YouTube trying to find some other smarter person than I am, which is not hard to find, that knew how to get this fan off here. But, alas, when I searched for Samsung refrigerator repair, the video that came up was my own video. So, and I hadn't obviously got this licked before. I'm making progress now. You know, ultimately, that was Archimedes and the lever or something like that, you know. Ultimately, we've got to call on Archimedes to get this thing off here. You know, I'm making some progress, but it's like super slow. There we go. So, my answer to this is probably brute force, is the best I can suggest. Okay.
Yay.
One thing is, when you take this off, be sure and keep track of which one's the bad one. Magic marker. Bad. Okay, you don't want to accidentally put that sucker back in. Now, the replacement is this. These don't look exactly the same, but you know what? It is good enough for me. So, what I'm going to do is take this replacement one and slip it in. Fits in like this. Make sure that I don't think these things can fall out, but you have kind of some grommet things there. And the fan right here. You know, hardly ever get this thing out. Might as well rinse it off a little bit. So, rinse it off a little bit. Not that it needs to be rinsed off, but what the heck. Okay. So, fan goes through. The fan kind of sits in there like this. Or the motor fits in there. The fan blades go on like this. Now how do you get them on? You just push it on. See, it goes on easily. It comes off. Here's the little spring thing. I'm just going to push that sucker back onto here as if it makes any difference, because this thing's like impossible to get off anyway. Maybe this one will be easier, but this is the last time I'm going to replace one of these things because this fridge is going away soon. Interestingly, I have a significant amount of ice under here, which I had not noticed before. This has been really the big problem. Can I let the cat out?
Sure.
All right, go. This has been my problem all along with this refrigerator, is this buildup of ice. And I frankly have used brute force to get this ice off. Try to do it without breaking too much of the styrofoam insulation here, but alternatively, you could just let this stuff just melt overnight, but I am just impatient with this. There's a part. So this is a bunch of ice coming out. There's my styrofoam falling off. There it is. Styrofoam. Kind of sad that I'm doing this. This is sad. It's a sad situation. Ice. All right. This little piece of metal, I have no idea what that's for. But it has a hole in it, so we'll screw it in somewhere. Get the ice out of this thing. That, alas, is the problem. The problem ultimately was ice buildup, which somehow or other is related to this evaporator fan going out. So, I've mentioned on this video that I actually like the Samsung refrigerators, but now that I'm in the market to buy a new refrigerator, Samsung is looking less attractive at this point. So, alright. Dog back in. Don't forget to let your dog back in. Alright, this little part, I would say, did you see where this came from?
No. Good enough.
this ice. There's actually a bunch of ice down in here too. I have no idea what the size of all this ice is. Let's see. Oh, I need more pliers. Ice extraction. It's kind of embarrassing. More ice. You know, I'm to the point now where I'm just amazed that this thing even worked at all. Alright, that's most of the ice out of there. Okay. Well, this wonderful piece here. You know what? I don't even know what we need this thing for. You know, it's probably redundant. Doesn't fit in here. It seems like sometimes you got too many pieces. Okay.
Your phone's dying. No, low battery.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you can turn it off if you want.